And good evening. Just to shake things up, we're doing things a little bit differently tonight. So this is normally the time for Forever After That, slowing things down. We are not going to do Forever After That. Well, I'm going to do Forever After That tonight. Let's just say that. In a more personal way. I want to interact with whoever wants to come in. We usually do that. So tonight is going to be all about energy. It's going to be how our energy affects one another, how we feel the energy of loved ones who we think are gone, how to interact more with loved ones that have already crossed over, how to create space for them. So it's all about that tonight. I see one already. I'm going to try to take it slow and easy tonight. Carol's still a little under the weather. We're giving her another week. It's difficult when you've got a cough and a sore throat sometimes. So hi, Rachel. It's nice to see you. Keep on bringing them in. I see a couple now. As I already announced, it's going to be about energy tonight. Energy sensitivities, it's so important right now to become more aware of how we experience energy and how it affects our lives and how the energy that we carry affects the lives of those around us. We can't help but be physical still, right? We're still in physical form. We're always moving forward energetically. We keep on learning how to raise the vibration higher and higher. We're coming into a really generous time for us as far as the universe is concerned. When I say that, I mean that, and it's not really coming in. It's been here. It just keeps getting better and better. So it's about tapping into that beautiful energy that is available to you through your own filtration system. I try to, it sounds funny to say it that way, but it's your higher self, your Christed self, your true self, your soul, whatever you would like to give that name to. When you are able to tune in. So I've been doing a lot of exercises with some of my children this week, different people that I am exposed to, because I feel like it's so important for some of us, and I know many of you that'll join me tonight, you have been energy sensitive really since day one. You are more, good evening, Michael, nice to see you. You are more sensitive than a lot of people in the world. And I could probably ask a show of hands. For those of us who have been super sensitive, we tend to have had a big bullseye right here in the center of our foreheads. We call ourselves empaths, light workers, whatever you want to say. We're so sensitive to the energies around us that it tends to make us the victim many times. We are victimized. We tend to come into families that where we might even if the everything's perfect, we still tend to be the big bullseye baby, the one that tends to take everything. Do you know those babies that are the ones that seem to just break down and cry at a Hallmark commercial, or they're watching Barney or whatever they're watching, and you can see them, a sad song, and they're crying over it. These are the highly sensitive little babies, and there's more and more coming into the world. And that sensitivity is energy. It's all about energy tonight. It's a sensitivity to the energies that are around them or you. And it's being able to tune into one another. It's being able to tune into the trees, to the flowers, to the bees, to whatever it is that's around you. You're tuning into all these energies. Many of us, we've chosen, I know for me, I worked a lot of years in hospitals. It was very difficult because I was tuning into the energies of those who were either suffering their own illnesses or those who were suffering with someone who was suffering an illness. And many times I would just be overwhelmed by the energy. I'd get onto an elevator and all of a sudden I'd just want to cry, and I couldn't figure out why. It was long before I knew what an empath was. Hi, Carol. So we're discussing that tonight. And I would love to see your comments, just as we do every week on Forever After That. I'm on a smaller screen. I didn't go to Zoom this week because I want it to be more personal. But if you have these experiences, energy comes in all forms, right? Sometimes I know for me, when I became aware of an energy sensitivity, it was little things. It was going through antique malls, and I would be drawn to certain things, and other things would make me feel like I was being repelled. like a magnet. You're either drawn to it or you're pushed away by it. We're like walking magnets. We're like that. It's like things are either attracting or pushing all the time. All the time in life. You're forever, whether you're aware of it or not. You have this energy center that just kind of pushes you and pulls you along, doesn't it? So we want to become more aware of that in this beautiful energy that we're all in, of ascension. If we're not being aware of what's going on with our energy and the energy of those around us, thank you for sharing, Carol. I can't do all this at one time. If we're not aware of all of the energies that are going on around us, we get just kind of knocked around like the ship at sea. It's just, in the middle of a horrible storm and it's getting knocked here and there, and we don't really understand it because we're not being aware of that energy sensitivity inside of us. So we might feel really, really sick, especially in big crowds. Try to go to the mall. Forget it. If you go into a crowded space where there's a lot of noise and a lot of people are all hyped up, either they're angry or they're excited or whatever the energy is in the room, you are affected, greatly affected by that. Oftentimes it could be just the weather, the energy of the earth. There could be solar storms. There could be so many different ways that we're affected by energy all the time in your sleep. I know that Carol was just saying that she was watching something that was, and you can explain it further next week maybe, but how we're affected by the electrical impulses. Sometimes, especially say you're really close to, your house is right under a big, what do you call it? The transformers, or if you're close to that, or if you're in a bedroom where the electricity is coming right down your wall, or, however that is, your sleep can be affected by it. So you are affected by, and also lately we've had these crazy storms, electrical storms in my part of the woods. And I've always thought of myself as a barometer, because whatever kind of weather we're having outside, it feels like that's what I feel like. If it's really rainy and grumpy outside, I'm feeling kind of rainy and grumpy sometimes. So it requires me to find ways to balance my energy or to sort it out. Hi, Deborah. Nice to see you. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. So that's what we're all about. And I am watching comments because I would love to know, as we evolve, we've all been energy sensitive our whole lives, but we're becoming more and more so. So if you've always been like, wow, I wish I could turn this down a little bit, well, guess what? It's getting turned up. We are amping up in our ability to connect with one another energetically, to connect with the earth, to connect with the moon, the stars, the sun, all of it, and one another for sure. And animals. How many times lately do animals seem to be out in the wild? They respond to your energy. I know even a few years ago, a number of years ago, I would be going through a zoo, and there would be an elephant standing 50 feet away from me, and it would stop me in my tracks, and I'd just be standing there going, oh my gosh, I feel the energy of that elephant. So how many times, if you're around animals, do you notice that? Do you feel like they're drawn to you? Many times when we're doing sessions, one of the cats will come up. They'll feel it and they start scratching like crazy on the door because they feel the energy. So animals are very in tune anyway. But we're tuning in more to them, right? So there's so many ways that we're evolving. And for me, now I know many people are get all these crazy, they can see stuff and they hear. Sometimes I do hear, sometimes I do see. But my strength is in how I feel. It's in the feeling of energy. That's how I first knew that Steve was around me. I felt him. Oh gosh, it was like absolutely took my breath away, wrapping his energy around me. And I knew, there was no doubt that that was him. So we all have our own ways. And so tonight I want to, Carol, our animals are very in tune to energy, very much so, very much so. I would really like for us to have that discussion. If we go into this show is forever after that, and it's named that for Steve, because he said, we got together, he said, I will love you forever. I will love you until the day that I die, and then forever after that. And he proved it to me, because he's still so present. And when I get really grumpy or angry, it's like, there he is, boom, bat signal goes up, and he just shows up. So when you are, if you've had a loved one that has passed, even a dog, I know some of us have lost pets, how do you experience them still? Do you notice? Because I'm a big believer that when you have a pet that really, really loves you, that they just kind of step out of the body and they keep going about their business. So they might not be tripping you up, but they're under your feet. You just don't notice them. They're curling up on your bed. I've had that actually happen to the point of seeing an indentation on my bed. So I know that that is absolutely true. So, or they're showing up in your dreams. The dream state has been really powerful lately. We've got a lot of loved ones coming through. If they can't reach you in your waking periods, they will come through in your dreams. And if it's something that's very, very real, it's a visitation. They're definitely coming through to you. So the big thing that I want to do tonight is, and you guys please tell me if you got stories you want, please, I'll read them out loud. What I would like to practice today is that being able to feel, knowing the difference. What does it feel like? The difference between, I think there's a loved one close to me, or I know. There's a difference between, I think I know where I'm supposed to be in life. No, I know. I think I know where I think I need to go there, or I know. And there, do you know what I'm saying? It's like that knowingness is something that cannot be taken away from you. You know, you'll say, well, you know, and I have relatives, I have people that kind of think I'm a little off because I talk so much about Steve, but I can't deny him. I can't deny the energy that comes through. There's no way, because it's too real. It's so thick I could cut it. The energy is amazing, and it's literally the closest I believe that we can get to heaven when our loved ones allow us to feel their energy. So I want to bring you closer to that tonight, if I can. If you would allow me, I would like to bring you closer to really feeling energy. If you're not energy sensitive now, hopefully as we go through tonight and more later, if you want to keep working at it, you'll feel more. And you'll realize that this is not something that's reserved for just the few. We can all feel energy. And once we learn to feel energy, and it's just a matter of tuning in, then we get to feel what the universe feels like. We get to feel what angels feel like. We get to feel what our loved ones feel like. We get that knowingness. Oh, they're okay. I can feel them. I recently lost my aunt. She passed probably about 6 weeks ago, something like that. And in the process of her, when she was very, very sick, the day before, the morning before she passed, her energy came to me. And I knew it was her. There was no denying it. It was like, oh gosh, there you are. And it was so beautiful. There was nothing, she had no fear. She felt no weakness. She no longer felt sick. She felt like absolute pure joy. And that's the kind of experience that you have when you begin to feel that kind of energy. They're all around us. Nobody can deny that. You did not come to this planet by yourself. You created a beautiful team so that you could have these beautiful energies close by to help guide you, to throw synchronicities in your face all the time. How many of us are getting tons of numbers again? The numbers have been crazy lately. So it's like when I start seeing 3 7s or 3 8s or whatever it is, it's like they're everywhere. They're crazy. So I know that that they're sending me through all these signs again. So how do you experience energy? I'd love to know. I'd love to know if you are feeling it now. Oh, when Carol has told stories before, I still feel like one of the best ways. Please know that if you're holding your, lots of numbers, Carol's getting the numbers. If you're holding your vibration high, which means you're spending time sitting in silence, you're having joyful experiences, you are getting out in nature, you're feeling really good. those lower vibrational energies that are around, they're not going to affect you too much. They're not going to hurt you. You might feel them, you might sense them, but you're really well above their radar. So don't be afraid of what we're talking about tonight. It's a matter of these are the energies that we experience through love. That's what I would always say to people, because people often, they're like afraid of, oh, I don't want to be like in The Sixth Sense, in that movie where it's like people, or is it Medium, the ghost whisperer, where these absolute ghosts walk right up and start talking to people. We're not looking for that tonight. I have yet to have a ghost just come walking up and try to tell me, I might get a knowing, but I don't see them just come walking up looking like they did before there when they passed. It's not like that. It's not anything scary. So I would recommend that you just relax in. And for just a second, we're not going to meditate, but there's a lot of energy here. For just a second, if you will, take a big breath. And I want you to feel the energy in your belly. The knowingness of those beautiful energies that are around you, they don't come through here. They don't come through your brain. Not this brain. This is your egoic part. This is your part that's just all programmed by what you have learned and experienced. That's all it is. It's like your eyes, just what I've seen. But when you start to go into the third eye, where you start to really experience energy, you're going to experience it really more through the belly. You've got another brain there. And that's where your knowingness comes in. Because that's your core. And that's where your higher self will let you know. That's where the knowing comes from. You will use your brain to filter the information. It doesn't shut down. Your ego stays online. But you want to go to your belly first, or your heart, solar plexus area. That's pretty much where I feel that love energy. And there's a lot of it here right now. So if you tune in, and take a big breath, and I want you to focus on something that you know, that you don't know why you know it. You got no idea. It just came to you and you're like, no, I just know this is true. Nobody could ever tell me any different, because it's absolutely in my gut knowing. And the reason why I know it's true is because when it comes up to me, when it comes into my awareness, I feel that love energy in my belly. And then I breathe into that belly. And I keep on breathing into it, and I expand it. So it's like you get this bubble or inside of your belly that you know is just pure love. And I keep breathing into it, and it keeps getting bigger. Imagine that you're breathing into that balloon. So you got a balloon, it's small, and you just kind of keep blowing all this love energy into that balloon. And it's right there in the center of you. And it keeps getting bigger and bigger, and pretty soon it's so beautiful that you can barely breathe. Try to experience it now with me. And when you get to that place where it just fills up your chest so big that you're like afraid, okay, I'm suffocating, I can't catch a breath. Imagine that bubble now just goes poof, right up around you. And now you're in the energy. And it's all around you, and you can breathe nice and easy. Nice. Imagine yourself now for just a minute. Now that you are in this upper frequency, this nice high vibration. Hi, Lisa. Now that you're in this nice high vibration where you're just rolling around in love energy, now I want you to imagine something. You've had all kinds of questions. You don't know which way to go, whatever it is, and you're like feeling, or you really want to experience someone who's passed. This is the place, because when you're in that high vibration, you're at a vibrational match with where they are. They're like about 3 feet above you. That's it. So if you I used to think that was Steve. I'm like, if I can just get my vibration up 3 feet, I'll be right where he is. And I did it. He helped a little bit. I think he reached down and grabbed me and pulled me up at first. I needed that help. But that's all it takes, is to get yourself into that beautiful love bubble where you can hardly breathe because it's so beautiful. And then I want you to close your eyes for a minute. Who is it that you would like to meet? It doesn't have to be a loved one. It could be a famous person that's passed. It could be an angel. It could be a guide. But who would you like to meet in this space? And you'll know when they enter in, because something just catches in the heart. It's like, oh, it's gentle, isn't it? They don't just come flying in. Hi, Julie. They kind of just ease, boom, right into your heart space. You are there with them. They didn't come to you. You raised your vibration. And when you raised your vibration, you came up to meet them. Now sit in that. Who's there with you? And remember to breathe. Isn't that nice? None of us is here alone. If you're going, okay, who am I going to come on with us then? If you can't think of anyone, just join me in that higher elevation, that higher vibration. Come join me. We can travel. You can be with anyone at any time. Come join me. It's a little family get-together in the clouds. We're all bouncing around in our beautiful bubbles right now that are filled with love. It's raised us up into that high vibration. It's beautiful here. And we're all together, a great big family reunion. How does that feel? And don't forget to breathe while you're here. You're still in that physical body. It's like a million hugs, isn't it? And if you're not there yet, come on. All you gotta do is let that love in. And you're bouncing on the clouds, Lisa. Beautiful. So glad. Isn't it beautiful up here? We could have some, what would we like to add to our adventure? We could have some unicorns. How about some flying horses? Unicorns with wings. That's even better. Just create it. Hi, Tammy. Hi there, Tammy. We're trying to do a little forever after that. So we are bouncing around in the clouds. I want you to take a big breath and just pull all that love right into your core. And as you feel that love, it fills you right up. Anyone else that needs to catch up, you get filled right up with love energy. Feel it. Let it just take over. The only thing that keeps us from our loved ones is us. The only thing that keeps us from our angels or that higher vibration is us not believing. Just let go of all that stuff. Of course you can do this. Let go, let yourself fill up with the love energy. Come up into the clouds with the rest of us. Jump into that little bubble of yours and come on up. We're having quite a party. Flying pigs. I want flying pigs. I love flying pigs. I've got Steve. Steve came to me before I started the show. All of a sudden it was like, oh, hello. So I've got Steve. So I'm in a really good place. My grandmother also has been around a lot. Who do you have? Can you feel their presence? You just feel that all of a sudden you just get this, oops, like it's almost like it wants to take your breath away. Because they have this beautiful something in you just shifts and creates space for them. You've set the table, and there they are. If you're getting any messages, if you've got any questions, right now is a good time to ask those loved ones. You might want to write things down. If you just want to experience them, they're all around us. They are sending so much love through right now. That's all I get is so much love through right now. Makes me want to cry. Got a song. I want to learn a love song. Perfect, Carol. Excellent. Excellent. Wish we could play that in our party time, huh? No doubt Bill's right there. You and Lisa. No doubt. So as you're up here bouncing around with the rest of us, if you're tired, you can rest. You can lay back in the clouds. What I want you to understand is when you really open to the love that is all around you, it fills your belly with this energy that is so perfect. And when I first lost Steve, I used to give him the credit for that energy all the time. And what he kept trying to push at me was stop giving that away. We are the same as those beings that we are calling in. It doesn't matter if you're calling archangels or ascended masters or God, source energy, whoever you'd like to call. The energy is the same. When they cross over, when we cross over, a part of us stays in that same personality that we've carried. Trust me. Steve comes in the silliest way sometimes. But the truth is that we are all from the same energy, originally at our very core. So we feel this energy right now, we're in it. And that is you. You are every bit, when you pull yourself into that high vibration, your energy is right there with the rest of them. You are up in the clouds. Your energy, they didn't pull you up there. They joined you because you have this amazing ability to draw in the most beautiful energy. And as you do, your vibration just goes right like that hot air balloon, up right into that high vibration. And there you are, right where every dream you've ever had exists. You're in the world of forgotten dreams right now. How many times from the time you were little did you have a dream of something? Let's see. Hey, when I was really young, what's your earliest memory? Tell me. Something that you really wanted when you were little and you didn't get it, but you put out the feelers. You might have asked Santa Claus. Santa Claus is there too. You might have wished on a star. Those dreams went into the space right above your head. They're there. I used to want a pet hognose snake. Yes, I did. When I was little, I did. Energy just can't hit my throat. I don't know if you noticed that, but I almost couldn't talk through it. It's incredible in here tonight. What a party. Who just came in with that big lump in the throat? I'll tell you who makes me want to cry all the time. It's Bill. He just like, it's like, bloomp. And I'm like, okay, I'll cry, Bill. I think he's just trying to say, yes, 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 most definitely I'm here. Who else? I see some dogs. I see my collie dog that I just lost in December flying around. He told me before he passed that he was going to become a dragon. So I see him now as a dragon flying above me. He's kind of a furry dragon. Do you know the dog in Neverending Story, the great big flying dog? Yeah, that's what I see, how I see my collie. He's a still dog form, but he has wings and a long tail, and it has one of the triangles at the end. So he's like part dragon, part dog. What do you got? Yes, we're getting beautiful music. I just saw a bouquet of flowers. Who is getting the bouquet of flowers? Heart balloons, rainbows, and butterflies, of course. Big energy. Ooh. There is so much energy in here tonight. I hope that you guys are experiencing this. This is all I want tonight, is for one person to say, I got it. I feel it. That's what my guys were telling me tonight, is just go in there at 6 o'clock like you always do and let them experience what it's like. to sit in heaven. So we're going to stay here. As long as they keep the energy here with us, I'm staying. And I hope that you are sitting there going, letting go. If you're having a hard time pulling into that higher vibration, I want you to consider that you are so much more than that little person that's sitting there in the chair. That you are energy before you are physical. And then you allow for that energy to come join the party. Let your energy be in your light body. Lots of energies. Carol's getting them too. Lisa, I take the butterflies instead of the flowers. Okay, butterflies it is. Butterflies it is. They're in every color. Hi, Terry. Mellow energy. Good. I'm glad you're feeling it. Who do you think that might be that's coming in that's got that mellow energy? Do you have a grandparent? I get a grandmother. I get a female, definite older lady for you. I want to say, like, I'm getting this, like, with the, like a shawl over the head kind of thing, or a hanky, or, whatever, covered up the head. That's what I'm seeing. So somebody's got her coming through. She's a little bit heavy. She looks very sweet. Great big cheeks. Kind of a big nose, but it's just cute. Crinkly face. She's very cute. So whoever she belongs to, somebody claim her. I just hear a big rumbling laugh. Like she had a big belly and she liked to bake good yummy goodies, and she had a big rumbling, hoo-ha. She liked to laugh. So she's a love energy for sure. Beautiful. I see bread being baked and braided bread. Somebody has a beautiful baker coming through. That's very sweet. It's making me hungry. Oh, me. Who else do we got here? You can see. There's somebody who's very tall and skinny. Very tall and slender. I think I know who that is. I see a cowboy hat all of a sudden. There is so much. There's so much here with us. There's like little bits and pieces. So if you're calling someone in, let us know. Let us know if it's anybody that you know. This grandmother energy that's such a great baker. I don't think she's mine. My grandmother liked to make like cookies. Yes, Bill. Yeah, I got the Bill's the tall, skinny one, isn't he? Did he wear a cowboy hat? I know that sometimes Steve liked to wear a cowboy hat. And he wore it when we got married. He wore cowboy boots. So it could be. It could be one of his sneaking through. Let me focus for just a minute. I'm getting, at first I thought it was flowers, but I'm getting like a very delicate tea set that has a floral pattern on it now. It's like a crack in one of the teacups too. I think it's been glued back together. What else you guys got for us? Bring it. And we accept healing while we're in this beautiful energy space. For anyone that says yes, allow for. I've got a lot. Yeshua was very, very present earlier, and I'm getting that energy too. So we're not just our loved ones. We're getting a lot of like ascended masters. Ooh, hold on. I got a very strong feminine energy coming through. I just heard the name Sophia, so I don't know who that is, if they're going to watch it now or if she just peeked in. Sometimes when you open it up, they just start knocking like they're going to come through. So might not be anyone, but if you do know a Sophia, yes. Oh, I know a Sophia. Oh man, that's cool. My cousin's wife. Very cool. I just realized that. Who else wants to come in and say hi? Big headache. Who's got the headache? Your grandee. You got the tea set. Very good. I'm so glad, Julie. I'm so glad you know. I love it when they send us something that is very like, oh, yep, this is me. I love that. I got the goosebumps going up the back of my head, so I know that's right. And she was the baker. She came to see you, Julie. That's beautiful. I've gotten that before. I'm so glad she came through today because you have been with me before when we were doing a show. And I remember you saying something at one point, is there anything for me? And then you had to take off and leave. And I wanted to tell you that I had a grandmother, but I didn't get a chance to tell you. So she's come back through tonight. So that's beautiful. So glad. If you only knew, there's a lots of pressure in the ears right now. And a big energy in the throat. I'm going to cry again. So whoever's doing that to me, it's likely Bill. You're so very welcome, Julie. I only get just so much love from her. You know, it's really just her allowing herself to be, or she's sending something to give you, to say I'm present, I'm here with you, and I think she's with you a lot, because it seems like oftentimes when you show up, I'm feeling that grandmother energy. So she's just with you, very much adores you, still sees you as a baby. What else we got going on, you guys? Tell me. I'm still sensing a whole lot of energy, and I'm trying to sit with it a little bit when I go quiet, if there's anything that needs to come through, because if I talk too much, nothing happens. They're like, if you just be quiet. And it's practice for me too. So, the whole show is about feeling energy. And I want you to take a minute. Julie, right now, especially you, but all of you are getting this where it's open. The space is open. We've opened the field, and there is this beautiful energy coming in, and I hope that you can feel it. Now, how does that energy feel in your belly? What part of you feels the energy? When your loved ones come in, and we all experience our loved ones differently. And every one of our loved ones has a different way of showing themselves to us. So, but we're all very, very unique in the way that our abilities work. That's what's so amazing. And so some of us, I've had times when I've had loved ones just pop right through my third eye. A most amazing feeling ever. It feels like pure love is just shooting right out of my head. If I could see it, it'd be like a ray of light just shooting right, right through my third eye. And always when that's happened, something has come out my mouth. And it's like it comes out here, the energy comes out here, and my mouth speaks a message. So that I've had that experience. With Steve, it's always love energy with him. It's always, I feel the energy in my belly. The first experiences I had was just this sense of overwhelming him, wrapping himself so tightly around me with absolute, pure, perfect love. That's all they've got. Wrapping it around me so tightly that I couldn't sleep, or I couldn't breathe. I just had to finally say, okay, I didn't want him to go away, but I also needed to breathe. So I had to say, okay, you got to let up a little bit. And he and I have had to perfect that over time so that I could breathe in his presence. So I'm a feeler. I feel energy. I don't always know what it is or who it is, because unless they give me a definite, or sometimes I'll hear. Typically it's, or sometimes I'll just see something, it'll flash in front of me, and then it's gone. Just a moment of something. So they have different ways, and sometimes we're more sensitive to them than others. But please start beginning to be more aware of those things. Don't doubt yourself. It's when we doubt ourselves that we don't get the messages. So say you're sitting here in this beautiful room. We're all in this higher vibration right now. And all of a sudden you just get this thing that pops up into your brain, and you're like, well, I just know, and I don't know why I know, but I just know something all of a sudden. Or a flash of something goes in front of your third eye. You're like, you got your eyes shut and you just see something really quick, and then it's gone. What is it? Without questioning, write it down. without saying, well, that can't be true. Don't doubt yourself. Whatever comes through is important. It might be the craziest thing, and it might make no sense to you. But it's either, and sometimes it's not for you, sometimes it's for someone else. But the most important thing is that you trust enough to let it come out of your mouth. Just trust. I know with people that do light language, I often channel. I channel differently. We all channel differently. So when I channel, I shift into my higher self, and it comes through very much like me, but it comes through with a knowingness. It comes through with a, and she's trying to channel, so it comes through with this very, I get a lot of energy in my throat chakra, and it's just there, and I have to let it out. And so I'm starting to tear up because a lot of times there's no holding it back. It just kind of comes through. So when there's an energy or a message that wants to come through from your higher self, from whoever you're channeling, it comes through as a sense of urgency, a sense of it's got to come out. And I'm feeling a lot of heat right now too. So that's a lot of angelic presence. That's how I feel. Angels is through all that heat. So if you're getting a lot of heat, you're likely in the presence of angels. So it is really, truly, I would say, that most psychic abilities come through because people allow them to come through without doubting. You just can't doubt it. You could sit there, there's people on the planet that just end up in mental institutions on medications because they've got these voices in their head that are trying to come through. They're picking up on signals. They're tuning in to all these signals of loved ones or whoever that's trying to get through their beautiful energy field. And instead of accepting that that's real and that they're really there trying to communicate, they want to medicate their way out of it. They might drink or take some kind of something to stop that from happening. So I would say that if you can allow, if you feel the energy tonight and you feel that love, you raise yourself into that place of love. And when you're in love, there's no energy that will hurt you there. You're not in, there's the energies that are not nice, they're low vibrational. They're down there where you're in your depression or your medication or your drinking. That's where they hang out. When you stay in that higher vibration of love, the only beings that you'll experience are those that are in that same vibration of love. And they will bring through these messages, and you can trust them. You can trust them. Because it's coming from love. It's coming from light. You stay in that love and light, you're okay. It comes through, and it comes out your mouth, and it might sound really silly. Practice letting it out anyway. Write it down. When you first start really opening up the third eye, you'll get crazy. You'll be like sitting there, and all of a sudden you'll see something crazy like I saw a motorhome drive right past. I'm like, it clear as anything. Or, or one day I saw the face of, I believe, an angel. I was listening to a meditation. It was in my earbuds, so I couldn't really hear. And I think I told you guys about this before for anybody that hasn't. That face was, I couldn't really tell male or female. And hair was golden, curly, long, and the bluest blue eyes I've ever seen. And as his face came down at mine, I could see his mouth moving, his or her, their mouth moving, and there was a message there for me, but I couldn't hear it because I still had the earbuds in, so I could just tell that they were talking. So it's really just trust. Let it, and everything that comes out. If you look at somebody and you get some kind of somebody posts a picture, they're like, all right, give this person a reading, and you're sitting there looking at them, and all of a sudden you get a flash of something, and you're like, nah, that's not real, and you just write it off. You've lost it. So just write it down. Trust your inner knowingness, because that inner knowing, even though you might not always translate it correctly. It's not that the message is always correct. Your translation may not be correct. But the more you play with it, the more you tune in, and it keeps getting stronger and stronger. And then you'll start, people will ask for a reading, and you're like, blah, 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 it just comes out. Because then you've practiced, and you've made it. Hi, Robin, so glad you made it. We're in this high frequency right now together, Robin. So take a big breath. You might need it. We've got a lot of higher frequency beings that are assisting. So it's like it's almost like being a hot air balloon, and I'm just like floating above the earth, and we've been hanging out in the clouds and trying to receive messages. So allowing for whatever comes through tonight, even if what comes through to you tonight is pure, perfect love. And that's all you get. That is everything you need. So if you're feeling that energy of love, you are receiving. It's very beautiful. And for me, because since it's me that's doing all the talking, it's always when I'm receiving that pure, perfect love, I get it in the core, right in the solar plexus, the heart, solar plexus, right down to about the second chakra. It's like I start to expand. So you'll feel that the energy hits the belly and it just starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then if you're back a little bit, you're not floating in the clouds yet. As that energy keeps getting bigger, keep feeding it. Keep breathing into that energy, accepting love. And as it gets bigger and bigger, you just kind of let it go boop right up around you. So just let it let it encase you. You are now floating in it. How does that feel? It's 4-year time. Sorry, you're in a different time. I never know what time people are on. So I always say it's Eastern time for me, always. Big, beautiful heart energy. Who's floating? Continue to breathe. I don't know how long we've been floating around in this. I can't see the time. But it's been a while. Yeah, we're getting down there. So if there's anything that you guys are feeling or getting, please share with us. Julie's getting baked bread from Grandma. My grandmother likes to be around me a lot. I felt her a lot this week. She was an author in life, and she loves, it's like whenever I need to write anything, I notice that she's around me more. She's like, when are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? So she's been around a lot lately. Beautiful. As soon as I brought her up, my energies went right back up again. She pulled me right back in. So much love. So as we're sitting here, we've got just about 10 minutes. And if you are in this space today, I know it's a strange show, but this is that we're giving it over to them today. To the guides, the angels, the ancestors, all that are here for our highest good, that are in the high vibration, allowing them to lift our energy, to allow us to feel that beautiful higher vibration. And in that space, if there's any place that the energy is flowing beautifully, if you need healing, you can just say yes. You can type it in if you want to, but if you need healing of any type, we are all working together here. Our energy is magnified because we're joined together. Allow for that healing to go where it's needed. Even if it is raising your vibration into a higher frequency, so you're stepping out of anger, depression, fear, all of that stuff, that's good stuff. Yesterday was a rough day for me. I was really stuck down in the mud, and it took some work to pull myself back out. So sometimes we need each other to help with that. It is a very, very crazy energy on the earth. It's like a roller coaster ride. I don't know who's been noticing that, but it's like we can be flying high one minute, and the next minute we get around the wrong group, or we've got some work in our dream state that's been coming up, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I gotta lift this back up again. So please know that we're all going through it. What came to me this morning was, no matter where you are, it's okay if you have to have a temper tantrum every now and then. You are still so very loved. So don't get down on yourself. Work to let go of the guilt. Work to let go of the shame, the blame, the fear, all of those things. Guilt no longer serves any of us. It is time to let it go. Julie Kiss, my grandpa's been gone off this earth for many years, but he never left my side. Not one day. Thank you, Grandma D, for all your love that never dies. Beautiful. Or your grandma. Sorry, I see the grandma now. No, she is staying close to you for Whatever it is, that's her favorite place. Oftentimes when they pass, there's a part of them. Please know that we're all multidimensional beings. So not all of them, we're not holding them back from anything. A part of her, the part of her that lived here with you, chooses to stay with you because that is her favorite place on earth. She's the one that brings in the ears. Whenever I speak about her, I feel her in my ears. So it's almost like, is she whispering in your ears? Do you notice, Julie, do you notice sometimes something, you're like, did somebody just say something, but nobody's around you? Pay attention to your ears. That's why she keeps drawing me back to the ears. And she might have been in life hard of hearing, because I keep getting the ears whenever I focus on her. But it's like, I'm not anymore. No ailments, no disease, no weakness anymore. What else you guys got? There's so much energy in the room, it almost overtakes. It's almost hard to focus on any one energy. It's just so much love. Lots of energy in the third eye right now. If you've got a lot going on right here, you're getting there's a lot of work going on for many right now in the third eye area. As you tune in more to your loved ones, and when they stay close like that, you'll get a lot of that. So allowing for that growth, expansion. Lots of people coming into their truth right now. And you'll notice one thing about it is there's a sense of peace that the only way I can describe it is when you step out of physical form, you are in perfect peace. You might have some work you want to do, but it's all done in love. We don't get a lot of that when we're in physical, up until now. It's very difficult to find that pure, that beautiful, encapsulating, no matter what's going on in the world, kind of peace. We're in this place now that when we get up in that high vibration, in our physical body, we are in a state of like homeostasis as far as our emotional well-being. It's like the egoic self that's always been kind of a little spoiled brat, yelling in your ear, talking in your ear, telling you things that just simply aren't true. That little ego gets stuck in a bunch of nonsense sometimes, but as you work yourself into that higher vibration more and more, your ego is coming into alignment with your higher self, and the ego is settling down and not giving you all that baloney. And that's the change. So if you're feeling that perfect peace sometimes when you get into this higher vibration, it's because the ego has stopped doing the wah, 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 wah. I need kind of stuff. And it's just going, oh, everything's perfect. Everything's good. And in that place, it doesn't matter what's going on in your physical sense. It's like, I should be bothered by this, but I'm just not. Have you noticed that recently? I hope that you have, because this is the shift that we're moving through right now. And even though we have those down times when the ego starts playing that same game again, mine did yesterday. You know what they told me yesterday when I was out in the woods? I'm driving through, and it was like, you know what? I know the little girl, your little girl self, has had a hard time. And I know that she needs attention and she needs love. But when you have given her that love and attention, and she's already had those lessons, and she's already had a chance to heal from these things, it's now like any other child. She needs to be given her teddy bear and told to go lay down and take a rest. And I'm like, yes. Yes, Carol's getting that peace lately. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to hear that. So please know that, yes, we're doing a lot of releasing. We're getting triggered. We're doing a lot of releasing. There's a lot of work going on in our sleep. You love that little person inside of you. You are still a child, trust me. You still got that little child inside of you. You're giving her or him lots and lots of love and attention. And you're trying so much. There comes a point when you're almost spoiling that little child inside of you. You know, I do it for my kids all the time. I spoil my kids. Just so you guys know, they're spoiled. They're not spoiled monetarily. They're spoiled in other ways. I can't tell them no. I let them get away with way too much. And I do the same thing. This is, I'm only telling you this because this is the talk that I got from my guides yesterday. You're just the same with your higher or with your inner child as you are with your own children. You don't know how to tell your inner child no. And you are going to have to start telling your inner child no more often, because the inner child is the ego. And the ego makes a mess of things. The ego gets in fear so easily. The ego wants to have a good temper tantrum. The ego wants to be angry over nothing. The ego wants to say mean things sometimes. The ego just, you open up your mouth and blah, it comes out, right? So, as you're working with your inner child, we are giving you permission, is what they told me. We are giving you permission to tell that little child that she needs a nap, that she needs to take her little blankie and give her a little teddy bear and a pat on the head and tell her to take a rest, because your higher self has got this and it can operate all by itself. It doesn't need that little voice in your head. It's nice. We're going to keep our personalities. You get to continue to be you, but you don't need that little whiny part of the ego, the part that's always trying to whisper crazy things in your head. That was wild. Oh, so and so did this and so did that, and that really hurt. Man, I can't believe they did this. All that stuff that goes through your head. Heal. Work to heal. Work to let it go. Those people that hurt you in the past, it's no longer there. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. It doesn't serve you to stay angry or hurt. Don't allow yourself to continue to be hurt, but don't hold them in that darkness. Let their energy rise too, okay? So we're forgiving them and we're letting go of those old things that no longer serve us. They had their place at one point. They're done. We've healed. Let it go. Okay? Really important. Lots and lots of energy behind that for all of us tonight. Is that need to not spoil the inner child. Don't coddle them too much. Love on them. They need it, but don't coddle them. Let them grow up a little bit. Let them come to that place. See, here's what happens is you take your little inner child and you go do something fun with them. And you allow them to pull their come back up into your ego. Your little ego comes and starts to balance, comes back up here. And then they get up from nap time and it's fun, isn't it? You're like, oh, now I'm in a better balance. This feels better. So sometimes you just really got to set them down. Make them take a break. Don't let them rule the roost, okay? Really important. So we still got a lot of beautiful energy. I hope that you can feel that. It feels like there's a balancing today. This energy of bringing us into a better balance. Pulling the egoic self into alignment with the higher self. This Libra soul of mine loves to create balance. I even see a set of scales. So take a big breath now. They're going to start to, some are staying. I can't get them. They're staying with you though. You guys don't need to stay with me. Just mine stay with me. I want you to take a big breath. I want you to bring your physical fully back in. That ego back in, feeling your feet. If you've been kind of in la la land, we've been up in the clouds and my energy is still way up there. Enjoy this beautiful peace, this love that you bring back with you. You don't need to leave your bubble. You can stay in that bubble. You have created it. It's filled with love. And you can stay in that bubble and say perfectly safe and loved right there. It's almost bedtime for some of us. So keep that peace with you today. I'm so grateful to all of you. I'm grateful to your loved ones that have come through they brought us so much love. To your guides, to your angels. You think that when you come to watch the show, it's just you. But I will tell you, when everyone that has stepped in, I've felt a shift of energy. You've come in with your higher self. You've come in with your angels, your guides. They've come in and I've felt them. And I'm grateful to you for joining me and for all of them. Thank you, Julie. Please allow yourself this gift of spending time with their energy more often. Spend more time with your higher self. My goodness, you're amazing souls. I love you guys so much. Please enjoy your week. I'll try to get back a couple of times of shows. in different times. I try to spread them out here and there. Hopefully, Carol will join us back here next week. Please take good care of yourselves. Thank you, Carol. Thank you to all of you. Share this out if you feel like it'll help some others. Please take good care. We'll see you next week or sometime when I pop back in. Love you guys. Bye.